Welcome to the deep dive. We take your sources, look inside, and pull out the key stuff, what you need to know, and maybe those weird little details that stick around.
That's the plan.
Today, we're tackling some really fascinating, kind of strange excerpts. It's from a source called The Broken Tone and the Void, specifically EP.7, The Broken Tone.
Right. And it details this whole sequence of bizarre events. There's a signal, some very odd effects, weird anomalies. Our job is to try and piece together what the source is describing for you.
Okay, so let's start where the source does. There's this initial thing happening. Something called a resonance lattice gets activated.
Which sounds like some kind of tech for, I don't know, interacting with signals, amplifying them. The source isn't super clear on the how.
Right, and just 2 days after they switch this thing on, the signal they were tracking just collapses, gone.
But not silence. That's the key. What happens next is the Earth, or maybe the instruments on Earth, start putting out this countertone.
And the source describes this tone as, well, fragmented, discordant. It just sounds fundamentally wrong. That word comes up a lot.
Yeah, and it's not just like some local feedback or something. The source says it seemed to come from deep space, but it's reflected somehow through Earth's systems.
And technically, it didn't match any known harmonic frequency. They were clear. This wasn't interference. They labeled it a disruption.
A disruption with immediate global effects. Think about this. Every satellite, all at once, experiences the exact same anomalies.
Like what?
Well, their oscillation readings just froze solid, dead stop.
Yeah.
At the same time, gravitational sensors everywhere spiked like crazy, like one invisible hit across the whole planet's orbit.
Okay, that's already strange, but this next part, this is where it gets genuinely unsettling, I think.
Go on.
The tone. It didn't play through speakers, not through radio waves you could pick up. The source says it played through minds.
Directly into consciousness. People described it not as hearing something, but feeling it, like a voice screaming without sound right inside their head. It even started messing with dreams.
Wow. Okay.
Which really suggests something, doesn't it? That maybe activating that lattice didn't just kill the first signal. Maybe it, punched through to a deeper layer.
A layer not meant for us. That interacts directly with our heads.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Something consciousness perceives directly, bypassing the usual senses.
And it wasn't just psychological. There were physical things happening, too. A big dish antenna in Namibia shattered. An entire receiver array in Patagonia caught fire.
Real-world impacts. But amidst all that chaos, they found something else, something new.
Yeah, this completely separate thing appears. A huge 8-meter-wide black sphere, just hovering, totally silent, above a monolith out in Siberia.
And its properties are just baffling, according to the source. It sucks in all electromagnetic energy, light, radio, everything. Nothing bounces off, nothing gets out.
The source just calls it a void. Simple as that.
So the big question, what is it? The source offers this interpretation, calls the sphere a censor.
A censor, like blocking something?
Kind of. It connects it to these ancient transmission theories mentioned in the text, where sensors act like filters or gateways between different layers of meaning or reality in a signal.
Okay, so if the sphere is the sensor, how does that connect to the broken tone?
The source puts it together like this. The broken tone, that mind-screaming thing, that's a test. And the void, the sphere, that's the examiner.
A test for what?
The source is specific on this point. Coherence.
Coherence doesn't really explain what kind of coherence, though. Mental. Societal.
Exactly. It's vague, but that's the word used. Coherence is what's being tested.
And if you fail, the source says you become noise, whatever that means.
Yeah, unsettling. Boy, there's actually one more layer here. Really mysterious. They found another frequency hidden just beneath that main broken tone, very faint.
And this frequency, it's human.
Distinctly human. The source identifies it as the voice of a child, a little girl.
A child's voice. What's it saying?
It just repeats one phrase over and over. You forgot the pattern.
You forgot the pattern. Chilling. And the source connects this voice
to a real cold case, apparently.
Yeah.
A girl named Amira Song. She vanished way back in 2187. It was during the very first transmission test for the lunar colony. Her voice was lost then.
Until now, embedded inside this cosmic disruption.
Which leads the source to ask, is she somehow part of this whole thing now, or is she trapped inside it?
Wow, okay. That's a lot. And the source ends with a bit of a cliffhanger, right? The black sphere starts to pulse.
That's the teaser. Yeah, pulsing. And the next step mentioned involves actually going to that monolith in Siberia where the sphere is.
So quite a journey ahead in the source material.
Definitely. And it
Wow.
leaves you, the listener, with that final thought the source poses. What if this signal, whatever it was initially, the one that maybe saved us somehow,
Mhm.
also in the same breath cursed us? Something to chew on.